In this video I'm going to make this argument for the last time. Or maybe not. I've been saying this a lot of times now, but it just can't be repeated enough. People are inherently hypocritical and ironic. They don't know what they want. On the one hand, they keep fighting and protesting to end many forms of injustice. People go out into the streets and they are mad as hell. And they always say the same things, such as, nobody deserves this and that. Everybody has the right to have this and that. Why are we still protesting this in the 21st century? How can this still happen? Why are people so cruel? No more victims. My child never deserved this. This should have never happened. And so on. But on the other hand, when we ask them about their philosophy of life, then they will say that suffering is worth it. All the bad stuff that happens in the world is all worth it. It's all worth the struggle through, no matter how bad it gets. We have to stay positive, we have to keep on fighting, we have to keep on enduring all the suffering. Life is imperfect, but imperfection is beautiful. But hey, guess what? Imperfection includes victims of racism, victims of rape, of murder. It includes global warming, natural disasters. It includes inequality, abuse. It includes all the nasty bad stuff that exists in the world. And yet you fuckers keep romanticizing it. Imperfection is beautiful. There is no good without bad. You all know that life will never be perfect. So it will always and always include all the nasty bad stuff. So what the fuck is it that you want? On the one hand, you keep protesting to end it all, but on the other hand, you want to keep on living forever. And so of course you just keep on perpetuating all the bad stuff, and you will literally have to protest forever. Because of the simple fact that you are addicted to life. If you want to live in an imperfect world forever, at least realize how stupid that actually is. Especially considering the fact that you are fighting for justice, that you are fighting for equality, for peace, and that you are fighting to prevent victims from being victimized. In other words, you are fighting for perfection. And don't tell me that all the suffering is worth it, because all those people who are protesting are clearly mad as hell, and they are clearly shouting that all those victims never deserved this in the first place. Yet, at the same time, they romanticize it by saying that suffering makes us stronger, or that we have to embrace it, or that everything will be okay if we just hang on forever, or as long as possible. People are very clearly against suffering, and they express this through all these protests. Yet they don't want to solve it because they want to keep saying that suffering is worthwhile. I really don't know how to react anymore when I see parents crying over the tragic death of their child. On the one hand, it never should have happened, and on the other hand, the life of their child was still worth it. It was worth to cry and to mourn and to experience the pain of losing a child. But still, the thing that caused the death of their child is fundamentally unjustified. No parent deserves to watch their child die. When will you learn? Stop being so damn naive. You all know what life entails. You all know the risks. You all know the dangers. But of course, you don't think about that because that's pessimistic. Ugh. You neglect all the dangers and you focus on the positive. But if something negative happens, You are surprised and heartbroken, and you cry like a little baby, and you complain about how you never deserved it and how unjustified it all is. And at the end of your life, you will say that it was all worth it. It was worth it because we learned from it, and there will be less victims in the future. Right? We are helping the future generations. We do it for the next generation such that the next generation will suffer less. World War II was worth it because now we are living in a better world. The Holocaust was worth it. Did the Jews deserve to suffer like that during World War II? Did they? Of course you will say no. But hey, it was worth it because now life is better, right? You people are incomprehensible. Admit it. You like to suffer. You need the suffering. You need your beloved ones to be tortured. You need your children to be raped and murdered. Because life is imperfect and you love that. You love to take risks. You love to play in danger zones. You love to play with fire. So deal with the suffering. But clearly you can deal with it because of all the protests that you're involved with. So what do you want? Do you really want to end the bad stuff? Because that will lead to a perfect world, and a perfect world doesn't exist, so a perfect world equals no world at all, / no life at all, aka antinatalism. Or are you going to continue romanticizing an imperfect world full of endless bullshit and suffering? What is your true moral purpose?